Hello, everyone. Good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 1B. On the behalf of Global Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Intelligent Systems, ICTIS 2024. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was organized in Ahmedabad on 4th April 2024, and the virtual event is being held via Zoom meeting today on 5th April 2024. I hope you all will enjoy this knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we'll have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given a time span of 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. And after 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And if you have any query or update, please let me know. I'm the moderator of this session. So if you have any technical issue or something, you can just text me in the chat box. Now, just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of today's session, Dr. Kalpesh Yadav. Dr. Kalpesh Yadav is working as associate professor at Mawadi University, Rajkot, Gujarat. He has completed his doctorate from Gujarat Technological University in computer science field. He is having 20 plus years of teaching experience. He has published 30 plus research papers, international conferences, and international journals. His area of research includes mobile computing, IoT, AI/ML, and cybersecurity. Now, I would like to start with the papers. Sir, would you like to say something before we start the session, or should we get to the papers straight away? Okay, we'll start with the first presenter. Anshi Singh and Divya Singh are the authors, and the paper title is a pseudo-based online examination system. So you may start with your presentation. We'll stop sharing our screen, and if you have any issue, you can let us know.
My screen is visible to all. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, and your screen is also visible.
It's okay. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Yansi Singh, and now I am going to present my research that titled as a CDO-based online examination system. I am from GLA University, and these are the outlines in which I'm going to present my paper. First one is introduction, method overview, PBOS related hardware and software component, experiment results, performance of the system, and the next one is conclusion. So all these topics will be covered during my presentation. These are the challenges while we are in the COVID situation. So we are facing the examination for the entire university, entire academic system. How we will going to manage the examination because of everything is closed nowadays. During these days. So main challenge is how to prepare, how to manage the examination, and how to prepare the result for these sessions. During these sessions, we have identified some topics like maintaining the sanctity of examinations. For example, there is difference between the academicians and other mindset. Like in the online examination systems, there are only supported by the corporate and doesn't support by the academicians, because of academicians having their own views like paper, pen, and other things. So they doesn't like the online examination system during the regular practice. And the next topic that was discussed during the examination, what are the possibilities for the examination, like whether the proctoring is valid, or whether the proctoring is possible or not, whether the proctoring may be the help with the human or maybe the semi-automatic proctoring. So these are the topics while we are going to manage or we are going to design these systems. And the next thing is how we will manage, or how we will tell the examinees how we will manage the examination system, because of there are so challenges, like most of the students are residing in the rural villages and other things, and the internet speed is also a bar for the examination system. So these are the digital challenges during the examination system, because of all student doesn't have laptops and other things. So there are the some challenges during the digital environment related. And the next thing is how we will manage, or how we will utilize the proctoring platform, like human proctor is available, or machine will be going to manage the things. So these are the some challenges or topics that are related with the online examination system. So in this sequence, we will manage, or we have proposed a system. In this system, we have managed two separate mechanisms in the same method. First one is a automatic proctoring system that is already exist in the market for the online examination, like cheating, other things. They are having the set of rules like screen switching and other things. So these are the related with the automatic examination system. But academician needs their supervision also on the examination system. So human proctoring is also involved in the system. So we are managing both the things in the online examination system. So the next thing is PBOS hardware component. So the challenge in the online examination system is we will use the mobile as well as tabs as well as the computer in the examination system. So these are the some components that are related with the BBOS. And the next one is to identify or to manage the identity of the students. So in the first phase, we have register, or we are having the registration as well as their previous photo that is registered in the system. And the next one is while the student is going to take the examination, we need again registration that is just as a previous photograph. So we have three layer of registration during the examination system, and each and every registration is passed by the academicians, their class advisors, their teachers, and their other authorities. And the next one is after the registration in the system, we are going to verify these student whether the student is valid or not, and whether the student is exists same as the student that is registered in the system. So these verification processes are managed in the next phase. And the next thing is extraction and classification of the cheating pattern. So we are having the predefined set of rules in which a system will automatically close their examination, or giving them to a warning as per the set of rules. And the next set was that is controlled by the proctor. Proctor means human proctor on each and every student. Like there are 10 students of group in which one invigilator will be there, just like a room, physical room. So these are the some steps that are involved in the Procter PUS management system. These are the some challenges related with the hardware, because of they are having the different type of devices like mobile, even internet speed, even data is size, because of most of the students are having only 1 GB per day limit or 1.5 GB per day limit. So we need a system that will help the student without consuming a lot of data, because we will if we will going to take the streaming, it will consume the so much data in the examination. So that is not possible for the students, because of they are having a data, they require the data as well as for the study also. So we need a system in which we will take the snapshot during the examination on the random time, in which at the random time within the 3 seconds. So these are the some possibilities in the examination system, and system with the help of webcam, microphone, and other connections that are involved in the hardware challenges. And the next thing is examination face register. Here you can see in the photograph, a system is intelligent to register the face. If there is a two persons while they are going to register them, system will not allow them to register their faces. So there is the intelligence of the system in which a student can register their face for the examination, and after the registration, system will automatically detect their face for the examination, identify the face through the face recognition algorithm. So these are the steps while we are going to take the examination, and we are having the large set of databases that are related with the student. Each and every student will register their face 3 times. So there is a possibility to register to identify the face on the basis of their data. So this is the second step for the face registration. And the next is, just wait, examination verification. To identify the valid examinees, we are having the two-stage verification. First is for the login by using their OTP. So the registered mobile number will receive the OTP, and he or she will be eligible to enter in the examination. And on the second phase, we are recognizing their face on the basis of registered face while he or she is registered their face in the system. So there is a two-phase verification in the examination system. If he or she is valid student, he is successfully entered in the system, otherwise failed. And the next thing is extraction and classification of the cheating pattern. We are having the set of rules in which a system will automatically manage all these things on the basis of their rules, like switching, even copy, paste, and other set of rules are also involved in the system. And the next thing is identify the examinee impersonation, multi-examinee detection, active examination detection, active window detection, keystroke, and other activities. So these are the steps while we are going to take the examinations. Like if the student is not in the system because of there is a lot of disconnection between the examination and students, there may be some hardware issues. The system is having the intelligence to detect their presence in the examination, or while she or he is not available, whatever the reason. So this is the extraction and classification with the help of cheating. And this is the examination impersonation. In this, during the entire examination, a system will identify the student on the basis of their registered face while he or she is giving the examination. If he or she is not present and another person is the examination, the system will automatically send the message to the proctor, and proctor will take the necessary action. Even system will automatically close the student's account if he or she is trying to cheating, or he she is swept with the other student. So these are the intelligence in the system for the identification during the examination. And the next one is multi-examiner detection. Student cannot take the examination with the help of other person. Then the next one, active examiner detection. Active means if he or she is not available during the examination, a system will automatically send the message to their parent and student as well as the proctor whether he or she is not available. So the role of the proctor is not only to invigilate the examinee. A system will help the proctor, or even proctor will help the student to identify, to train in, or to help whether he or she is not available, and other things also. And the next one is active window detection. Active window detection means if a student is logged on the different platforms or on more than one window, the system will automatically identify these system or these student, and in system will automatically close their window and just send a message to the student and proctor also. And the next thing is keystroke and other activity detection related methods. The system is having the set of rules for the other keystroke, like control, copy, paste, and other things. So these are the examination, impersonation, and other things that are related with the examination system. Here you can see the proctor's window. A proctor can see the student. Like here you can see in the left side window, there are three types of photographs. In the leftmost, this is the active examination examinee. And the right side here, this is the registered phase during the examination system. And in the middle of the window, rightmost photo is related with the university photograph while he or she is taking the admission in the university, and the right side that are related with the registered phase in the first phase. So these are the four type of verification for the student whether he or she is valid or not. Here you can see there are in the red block, these are the alerts for the proctor while he or she is cheating the system and other things. So these are the windows related with the proctor. And the next thing is remote supervision by the human proctor. A proctor is also helping the student for the registration, even for the hardware related issue, even for the network issue. So proctor is also helping these students, right? Next thing is facilitating of remote proctoring technology and comprehensive examination information. So these are also the role of the proctors. And the next thing is while we are involving or we have the use of proctors, human proctors, so the probability for the successful of the examination may increase or it will be increased because of proctor will helping the students for the examination and during the examination. So these are the human proctors that are related with the system. Here you can see this is the analytics part. Here you can see the successful ratio by the help of examinations with the help of feedback. In the first phase, here you can see in the mock examination, there are only 78% satisfaction ratio. But test by test, you can see in the examination 17, the satisfaction ratio is 97.82. So here you can see on the basis of their feedback, most of the students are happy with the system. So this is the performance of the different type of parameters, the satisfaction ratio in the system. And the next thing is this is the capability to detect and prevent the cheating pattern. Here you can see this. These are the percentage. Here you can see copy and paste trial is student that is captured by the system 26.31. Exit full screen that is 38%, 38.20%, and multi-face detection that is 3.45%. Screen switch 4 is 19.67%, and search the internet and 12.36%. So these are the capability of the system that is governed by the automatic by the system. This information is not related with the proctor. Proctor is also a additional uh, supervisor during the examination. So here you can see the cheating analysis and their pattern. And this is the future work. In the future work, we are trying to manage the AI in the system for the capturing the cheating and other things. And the next phase, improve the user's experience. Now we are having the current scenario related user experience on the system. And the next thing is biometric authentication is now present in our system. While we are handling the system during the COVID, there is no possibility for the biometric integration because of students are on the remote location. So, but now in the current system, we are having the biometric integration, and the next thing is user training and support. That is the most important part of the system. And the next thing is collaborative research and development. We have, or we are going to involve the research related activities is also a part of system for the successful examination. And the next thing is these are the conclusions that are related with the system. In the first conclusion, here you can see proctored based online system that is designed by the team that is in-house team. You can use this by the student on anywhere, anytime, on any type of devices like desktop, palm top, the palm top, tabletop, mobile devices, and other things on the affordable internet resource because of it is not using the video streaming. All right, video streaming is also available in the system, but it is so data consuming process. And the next thing is throughout the examination process, we meticulously analyze the low level features like encompassing fundamental component, registration, verification, active video detection, and other things. to protect the system from the unauthorized activities. And the next thing is our successful implementation includes CDO-based online examination system for multiple choice question, single line answers, multi-line answer during the examination, and we are successfully 2160 finalist students across the various academic streams. So these are the some conclusion for the PBS system. And for the demonstration, we have successful approximately 85.77 across the 21 examination, including 4 mocks and 17 actual examination for the effective of the system. So these system, as per our knowledge, is successfully maintained during the examination, and we have we have managed the result on time for the university, and these are the references that are related with the system. Here you can see the references. So this is my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now, if there are any questions, we'll wrap up the questions within 2 minutes as we have a time constraint and we are already past the presentation time. So, if
Hello.
anyone has questions.
Siddhi, am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Sir, actually, I want to ask you only one question that have you, this is a kind of research paper or is it kind of project work?
Actually, this is a project that is related with the research also,
Okay.
because
So as I have seen in the references, you have used some of the very old references. So can you tell me why you have used this kind of old references over here?
sir, actually, we have made this system during the COVID duration. So
Okay.
during the COVID duration, we are using the previous research that are related with the online examination system. So that is
Okay.
actually built during the COVID duration. So the references are too old for the system. But right
Understood, sir.
now, there are so many systems in the market.
Right now, so many systems are available in the market. As I am in the university where we are also having this kind of system available with us.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll proceed to the next presenter if all the questions are done.
Thank you so much for giving me the time.
So the next presenter for today's session is Kavya ma'am. So the paper they are presenting is based on AI model-based prediction of malnutrition among children using deep learning models with transfer learning. Ma'am, if you're present with us, I request you to please start your presentation.
Sure, thank you.
Ma'am, you can share your screen now.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay. Good morning, all. So the title of my paper is AI model-based prediction of malnutrition among children using deep learning models with transfer learning. And the authors are Vidya Devi G. Veradar, Shilpa Ankalki, Kavyan, which is me, Kushalji, and Subhita Sundar. And affiliation is NMIT, Bangalore. Next is the problem statement. As we all know that child malnutrition is a global health issue, and our project aims to automate the classification of children's images using transfer learning techniques with VGG16 and SquareNet 1.0 model. The goal is to develop an efficient AI-based system for accurate and timely identification of malnutrition in children worldwide. The basic idea is to automate the classification of children images under the age of 5, to classify them as whether they are malnourished or healthy, because malnutrition is one of the severe and critical issues that is a global issue, and India is one of the countries that's facing that issue. Next is methodology. So in that, first is dataset description. So the dataset contains 1,300 images of children, which is generated by stable diffusion technique from both healthy and malnourished classes, out of which we created a training set of 1045 images and validation set of 255 images. And the table given over here shows the class-wise distribution of training and validation set, which is 517 malnourished and 514 healthy images in the training set, and 129 malnourished and 126 healthy images in the validation set. Next is data pre-processing. Once the images are generated, we applied some pre-processing techniques to make the images much better, in a better form, to feed it to the model, and also to improve the randomness of the data set. So we normalized images pixel values from 0 to 1, and randomly some images were rotated by some up to 20 degrees, and a few images were zoomed in, and few images were flipped horizontally, and if at all any pixel value is missing, that is updated with the nearest value. Next is model description. We have worked on VGC16 and SqueezeNet 1.0. So the first model, that is VGC16, we have both the models were used from Keras, which is a pre-trained model, and these models are already trained on ImageNet dataset. So we have used those models and made some changes in the model, and then we trained it for our data set. So the default image size that VGC16 expects is 224 by 224 RGB images. So we changed it to 240 by 240. And we have only used the VGC16 base. As we all know, VGC16 has 16 layers, 13 convolution and 3 dense layers. So we have used only the convolution block, the base. We have ignored the dense layers, and we created only 2 dense layers, in which 256 neurons with railway activation function in the first layer, and the second layer has only 2 layers for the 2 different classes with softmax activation function. Then is SqueezeNet 1.0. SqueezeNet 1.0 is a very lightweight model, and it reduces the model size without having to make any changes in accuracy. So it has convolution and max pooling layers along with the fire models, and fire modules have 2 paths: squeeze layer with 1x1 convolution filter, and expand layer having the combination of 1x1 and 3x3 convolution layer, and followed by ReLU and FC layers. Next is about the training parameters. So we have trained both the models by trying to make combinations of different parameters, and these the combination that is available in the table has come up with the better result. So epochs that we have used for SqueezeNet and VG16, SqueezeNet is 25 epochs, and VG16 is 20 epochs. As I've already mentioned, these are pre-trained models, so after a certain epochs, the performance became stable, so we have stopped over here. And then the optimizers that we have used for SqueezeNet is Adam, and for VJ16 we have used RMS prop. Then the loss function that we have used for both the models is categorical cross entropy, and activation functions ReLU and softmax for both the models. Learning rate is 0.001 for both the models, and healthy 514 and malnourished 517 samples in the training set. and 126 healthy and 129 malnourished samples in the validation set for both the models. The batch size that we have used for SqueezeNet is 64 and for VGC16 is 32. Pre-processing that we have done for SqueezeNet is resizing and normalization, and for VGC16 weighted rotation zoom range, horizontal flip and fill mode. Next, performance metrics. So there are different metrics on which the model is evaluated. One is accuracy, loss, precision, recall, and F1 score. Accuracy and loss are basically for the overall evaluation of models, but sometimes accuracy and loss might be better, but individual class-wise performance of the models won't be that good. So for the further evaluation, we used precision, recall, and F1 score for the class-wise evaluation of models. So these are the graphs. So the first graph is the validation variation of accuracy and loss with epochs of VGC16. As we can see, which this model is trained on for 20 epochs. So the loss is decreasing and the accuracy is increasing. And for the SqueezeNet, we trained it for 25 epochs, and loss, we can see that the loss is decreasing and the accuracy is increasing. So these are few snapshots of the classification done by the model. The first image has 3 images of children who are healthy, and our model has clearly classified it as healthy. And the second row has the images of the children who are malnourished, and VG16 has clearly classified as malnourished. And the image to the next image shows the classification of the sample images by the SqueezeNet 1.0. So this model, the images in the first row are of the malnourished children, and the model is able to classify them as malnourished, and the images in the second row are of healthy children, and it is classified as healthy clearly. And the result comparison, so this is the top result of both the models, and we can see that the top accuracy of SqueezeNet is 90% and VGC16 is 93%. F1 score is 0.89 and VGC16 is 0.94. SqueezeNet's precision is 0.99 and VGC16 precision is 0.92. Recall of SqueezeNet is 0.81 and recall of VG16 is 0.95. So if we see overall performance, VG16 has performed better in comparison with the SqueezeNet. Next is conclusion and future scope. So this research explores the application of deep learning models, specifically VG16 and SqueezeNet, for predicting the child malnutrition. It underscores the importance of model selection based on specific needs. Results show promising predictive capabilities for both the models, with VG16 outperforming SqueezeNet in accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. The study also involves the dataset preparation, highlighting the scarcity of publicly available children's images. Since we have faced some issues because of the publicly available dataset, we have generated a synthetic dataset. And also the current project is only for the classification of images as healthy or malnourished. We can improve it further by because in malnourished there are different categories like stunted, wasted, and all. So we can focus on that. And in healthy also over healthy or normal. So these sub classification will make it better. And also the different stages that are there in malnourished child. Is it the beginning stage, or is it in between the critical stage, or is it a critical stage? So that classification can also be done. So that's so there is a potential in the enhancement of multi-class classification. So the findings contribute to early detection of malnourished children, befitting the health practitioners for timely intervention. Thank you. So that's about the paper.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we'll start with the question answer session.
Kavya, madam, can you tell me how you have collected the data set for the...
Sorry, I'm not able to hear.
Hello, am I
Yes, sir.
audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ma'am, can you tell me how you have collected this data set?
Yeah. Using the stable diffusion technique, we can generate the synthetic images. You have to give the prompt, and
Okay.
then it will generate the images.
Okay.
So we have to.
You have taken real-time images, or you have taken data set from somewhere for the machine learning
No,
purpose?
we created our own data set. We gave the prompt, and the AI generates the synthetic images, and then we tagged it as healthy and malnourished.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Madam, we can go for the next presentation. Hello, Siddhi ma'am. You are muted, ma'am.
Yes, sir. We'll proceed to the next presentation. So the
Please.
next presenter for today's session is Atharva Sathe, sir. Their paper title is Comprehensive Blockchain-Enabled Web Framework for Evidence Management. Sir, you may proceed with your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, I am Harsh Adavde. Due to some reason, Atharva Sathe couldn't join the meeting. There was an emergency. So I am co-author, Harsh Adavde. I would like to present the topic, if permitted.
Yes, sir. You may start with the presentation. It's
Okay,
absolutely
thank you.
fine.
Can I get the permissions to share the screen?
Yes, sir. You can present now. I have stopped sharing my screen.
Thank you.
Yes, we can share your screen now.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. So, our topic is comprehensive blockchain-enabled web framework for evidence management. So, the next page, please, Ritik. Can you go in the presentation mode?
Yes.
Hello, Ritik. Can you go into presentation mode, please? Yeah, reading view. Reading view. Okay. Next slide. So these are the outlines of our topics which we are going to cover. The next slide is introduction. So our project focuses on revolutionizing evidence management in crime solving by leveraging blockchain technology. The primary objective is to enhance the integrity, security, and the transparency of digital evidence handling throughout its life cycle. So, what is the role of the blockchain technology in this system? So, the blockchain acts as a digital lock, ensuring a stringent control over access and modifications to digital evidence records. By utilizing the blockchain, we establish a secure and immutable ledger that maintains the integrity of evidence data. So what are the benefits of blockchain integration? So blockchain integration provides an enhanced transparency, data integrity, which is immutable record, ensures that evidence cannot be tampered with or altered without leaving a trace. The integration of interplanetary file system. We integrate IPFS to provide a secure and decentralized storage solution for digital evidences. IPFS ensures that evidence files are stored redundantly across a network of nodes, enhancing data availability and resilience. So the user-friendly Angular front end is designed with an user experience in mind, offering a user-friendly and intuitive interface. So we have moving next to the problem statement is what is I have gathered some of the scenarios and from the real life. So the first case was from the Bangalore, in which an hacker who was arrested in the crime of a Bitcoin scam. He tried to purchase some illegal items with the help of Bitcoin. So he was arrested. But during his presentation in court, the court found out that it was founded that the all the digital evidences which were gathered against him was tampered. So the criminal who was arrested could not be punished because it destroyed the chain of custody. So the FIR was filed against the police officers who and they were charged with the allegedly tampering of with electronic evidence seized from that criminal. And the next case is the Senti Balaji from the Madras. So he was also captured in the money laundering case, and also his digital evidences was tampered. So the Court of Justice couldn't punish him on the basis of a tampered evidences. The next slide is so in the Evidence Act, which was updated in August 12, 2023, the Bharatiya Section Adhiniyam, it states that the documents or the digital documents like FIR, case diaries, should be stored in a digital devices. So there is a need of a system that has to be secure, so that all the digital documents should not be tampered in, like we seen in such cases. So moving on to the objectives. So our objective is implementation of a user-friendly evidence management framework. Our primary goal is to develop a user-friendly web framework for evidence management. This framework will streamline the process of handling digital evidence, providing law enforcement and investigators with intuitive tools for uploading, accessing, and managing evidences throughout its lifecycle. Utilization of blockchain technology for enhanced integrity. By leveraging blockchain technology, we ensure that integrity and immutability of evidence records. Each interaction with evidence such as upload, updates, or access is securely recorded on blockchain ledger, providing a transparent and auditable trail of evidence handling. So the next is integration of interplanetary file system for secure data storage. The integration of IPFS ensures secure and decentralized storage of digital evidences. IPFS distributes evidences files across a network of nodes, making data retrieval efficient and resilient against data loss or tampering. The next objective is establishment of role-based access control. This is a very important point. So role-based access control will be implemented to enforce strict user permissions and access controls. Different roles such as investigators, administrators will have predefined permissions, ensuring that only authorized personnel can perform specific actions on evidence records, so that there is no case of a tampering evidences. The next is generation of comprehensive evidence report. Our framework will include a features for generating comprehensive evidence reports. The report will consolidate relevant information about evidence such as metadata, chain of custody, and the audit trail, providing a detailed overview of the evidence for investigative and legal purposes. Moving on to the scope. So the scope of our project is what is the capability of our system. So it ensures data accuracy with comprehensive blockchain enable framework. The implementation of our comprehensive blockchain enable framework ensures data accuracy throughout the evidence management process by leveraging blockchain technology. So the next is the enhancing security with blockchain technology. Our framework enhances security by leveraging blockchain technology to fortify evidence integrity. Blockchain ensures that evidence data remains immutable and protected against unauthorized access or tampering, thus enhancing overall system security. Next is the maintaining of chain of custody. So chain of custody is something that when an evidence is uploaded in a system, it ne- and it needs to be tracked till the time of the it is shown to the legal court of justice, so that who has accessed the evidence during the meantime shall be recorded. So it does not happen that the evidence is tampered or altered. So maintaining the chain of custody is a really important thing in evidence handling. So next is establishing proper evidence collection and storage protocol. Our framework revolutionizes evidence management by establishing proper protocol for evidence collection, presenting evidence, ensuring consistency and adherence to legal requirements. Next is reducing manual data entry through automation. So leveraging the efficiency and automation capabilities of our web framework, we minimize manual data entry tasks associated with evidence management. Automated processes streamline workflows, reduce human error, and enhances overall operational efficiency. Next, Ritik, please. So this is the design phase. It is not clearly visible, I know, because it's fine. We will move to the next page. So these are some snapshots of our implementation of our system. So this is the dashboard which gives the summary of the entire system, that how many total cases are there is been registered in the system, and all, and what are the users. The next is the new user. The admin can create a new user and assign roles to him. There are certain roles like first responder, investigator, and all who has like I have explained the role-based access control, who has certain set of permission who only those can access the digital evidences, so that all the security triads remain constant. The next is here these are the case summaries and all the managed cases portal, where you can create new cases, manage new cases, uh, and all. Next is the to set the priority of the cases, like or also the status of the cases. While is it pending, is it completed, or is it prioritized as the top? Next, yes, here is the report generation. In the managed cases, we can generate reports using this. You can create a report using this framework. We can describe the cases as all. This is the chain of custody. Here all the logs of the evidence is displayed, that who has accessed the evidences at what time, at what date, so that there is a proper maintenance of chain of custody, and this can be used as a strong set in the legal court of justice. So here is the report generation of a example case. So we have all the description of the cases and all, and the time. So to conclude that there is a need of a system or an evidence system which needs to be secured, and it can be done with the help of a blockchain. Hyperledger Fabric is a platform of a blockchain, it is a private blockchain which we have chosen. So blockchain technology guarantees security, authenticity, and integrity of forensic data transaction. The focus is on developing algorithm using Hyperledger Fabric to streamline the chain of custody. So our future plan includes developing an API adapter for corporate stakeholders. It will be stored on the organization's server, and it will be automatically transfer the last 24-hour logs to our system to address log tampering issue and ensure compliance with government regulations. Thank you. This was our presentation.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now we'll move on to the Q&A session.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, as you have mentioned in the initial stage, that because of the human intervention, it may happen that the actual data may be changed, or it can be, what I can say, some
Tampered.
malpractice can be tempered or happen. So
Okay.
in your system also, you are having some man intervention, or the what I can say human intervention is there. So does it not affect the data privacy and all?
Okay, let me give you an example. Our system, when an evidence is uploaded, so if anyone tries to tamper the evidences, so what it blockchain does is blockchain is immutable. You cannot change the data or the evidences. If you still try to change the data, the original evidence will remain the same, and it will create a new block which will not be shown on the system, so that the evidence is completely untouched and immutable. So
Okay.
if in the traditional system it happens sometimes the database is deleted by when a person has technically not sound. So in this system, the blockchain take cares of it. It doesn't deletes the data, and it is immutable.
Okay, thank you. And Siddhi ma'am, we can move to the next presentation.
Yes, sir, sure. So the next presenter is Sumitra Pundalik ma'am, and the co-author is Priyadarshan Dhabe. So the paper title for the presentation is Convolutional Neural Network-Based Garment Classification Using Fashion MNIST Dataset and Comparative Analysis. Ma'am, if you're with us, you can start with your presentation.
Yeah.
So I have a kind request to all the presenters is to please consider the time constraint.
Could you please give me access?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Sumitra Pundli, along with my guide, Dr. Priyadarshan Dhabe. I'm presenting the topic paper, convolution neural network based on garment classification using fashion meaning dataset. I have basically done a comparative analysis by considering different convolutional neural network and produced the results. Uh, Contents introduction, data set that I have used, literature survey of CNN, implementation and analysis of convolutional neural network on fashion minute data set, conclusion and reference. So basically, I have focused on the garment industry or fashion industry, where garment categorization is playing very important role when we are now talking about the e-commerce platform and all related industries and its benefits for the inventory management and the organization of retailer, fashion designer, and stylist. So this particular paper is focusing on the garment classification. Here I have focused on the image classification, which is a computer vision task where algorithms and model design assign labels to input images based on their contents. Basically, image classification involves the trading model on the label data set and where each image is associated with a specific category of the class. And during training, a model learns the input image and adjusts the internal parameters. And once the model is trained, we can apply a unseen image and get it particular class. Okay, so image classification has a diverse application. Now, one of the application is analysis or object recognition. So I'm focusing on the analysis of the images. So here the considered data set is fashion minis data set. The fashion minis data set is first introduced by Zalando, and it has which has a features 28 by 28 grayscale images and more than 70,000 fashion products with 10 different categories are available. So these products are of groups like men, women, kids, uh, and different colored products. So here we have white color products excluded from the dataset due to their low contrast against the black background. And each category with the dataset comprises of 7,000 images, with the training set 60,000 images and the test consisting of 10,000 images. So categories are as follows: t-shirt, top, trouser, pullover, dress, coat, sandals, shirt, sneakers, bag, and ankle boots. So this is about the data set. I have carried out a detailed study of all convolutional neural networks from 1998, which starts with LeanNet 5, until AgriNet, which is recently developed. From 1998 to 2022 onwards, all these neural networks are showcased as a part of literature work. Then among those, I have selected four different convolutional neural networks: LeanNet 5, AlexNet, VGGNet, and ResNet, based on their wide use and availability. And so the parameters of these, I have categorized them on based on the following points, like how many convolutional layers are there, how many fully connected layers, number of parameters, when they have developed, last layer, using which particular activation function, and the error rate, which is given in their base paper. So in the VNet, we have 3 layers, AlexNet have 5 layers, VGGNet 13 layers, and ResNet has the 48 layers. So ResNet is the more deeper network than all others. So this is basic comparative analysis given or as shown in the slide. After doing the detailed comparative analysis and literature work, I have carried out the implementation of all those four algorithms by using the fashion managed dataset. So study involved the comparative analysis of LeanNet 5, AlexNet, VGGNet 16, and ResNet. Here, as a training parameter, I have used Adam Optimizer. I have used stochastic gradient descent also, but after doing the comparative analysis between stochastic gradient descent and Adam, I found good results with the Adam Optimizer. And here, the parameters are early stopping, which is value loss, and patience 5. And then I have trained the model with 20 epochs and of batch size 20. So these are the accuracy I have achieved. So as per my setup, I have achieved good accuracy for VGGNet 16. Yet there are scope of improvement because this I have implemented on the Google Colab. But if I'll be using a GPU setup, this surely will increase. So VGGNet 16 gave me say 92.78 overall accuracy. So the graph are shown here, and along with this, I have put the confusion matrix, so which shows that the uh, VGGNet gives me good amount of accuracy, and this graph shows that the accuracy and precision recall and F1 scores for individual um, uh, convolution neuron which are applied on the fashion unit data set. So this is about the work that I have carried out. At the end, the conclusion is that this study involved 4 convolution neural networks, and the VGGNet performed better, and followed by ResNet, AlexNet, and LeNet 5. And as a part of um, um, future work, I'll be focusing on more recent networks along with the GPU setup, which help me to get the more and better accuracy. These are references. Thank you. That's from my side.
Hello. Ma'am, can you show me the table which you have shown in the comparative analysis kind of thing?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Sumitra madam, can you show me the what table you have presented during the slides?
Which one, sir?
You have shown in the literature review, na, one table you have presented.
I'm unable to hear you clearly.
Hello?
Huh.
Ma'am, you have
Hello?
shown na, that comparative analysis table during the presentation. Can you re-show the same?
Okay, sir. Yeah. This
Yeah,
one, sir?
this one. Ma'am, here you have mentioned number of parameters. It is 60,000, 60 million, 138 million, and 23 million. Is it the right figure?
Yes, sir. These are as per
Number
mentioned
of
in
parameters
the
means
test.
it is a simulation parameter or what?
No, sir. These are the input parameters.
Input parameters means in which terms you are using it as an input parameters?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. In which terms?
These all are input parameter based on the base paper given on the.
So is it a data set?
Hello.
Is it a data set, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and can you go to the algorithm part?
Hello.
Next slide, ma'am. Algorithm part. Hello. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the usage of this callback method over here? As you have written 0.2 comma callback. What is the use of it?
So this is a validation suite.
Yeah, that is right. But can you tell me how the Keras callback will work? Have you studied that?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't recall it now. While implementation, I have done this.
Okay, ma'am. No issues. Thank you. Siti ma'am, we can move towards the next presentation, please.
Yes, sir. We'll move on to the next presentation. Ma'am, can you please stop sharing your screen so that I can?
Yes, sure.
So the next presenter for today's session is Riddhi Mirajkar, ma'am. Ma'am is from Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, and the paper they are presenting is Future Internet Architecture, Applications, Challenges, and Design Issues.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, all. I'm Riddhi Mirajkar. I'm presenting at the 8th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Intelligent System, ICTIS, Ahmedabad 2024. And here I'm presenting on the topic of future internet architecture, applications, challenges, and design issues, a review. These are the outlines which I'm going to cover during the presentation, starting with the internet, the history of internet growth, current internet architecture principle, its types, merit, demerits, then what is the future internet architecture, needs of future internet architecture, what are the current research going on to develop the better future internet architecture approaches, design issues, conclusion, and the references. So the internet is essential to me every day, like air and water. The internet is crucial to in our today's interconnected world, serving as a fundamental tool for communication, information access, and the collaboration. Even internet usage refers to the extent to which the individual's business and the organization utilize the internet for the various purposes, for a communication, commerce, information retrieval, entertainment, and many more things. This has become integral part of daily life for the billion of people globally, transforming how we interact, work, learn, and entertain ourselves. The begins with the timeline of internet. The journey of internet started in the eras of 1960s. The precursor to the internet is developed in a US Department of Defense for the military communication. In the 70s, email is introduced. TCP/IP protocol was developed, laying the foundation of modern internet. In 1980s, DNS is created. WWW is invented by the team Berners-Lee. Then in 1990s, commercial ISP merge, leading to widespread consumer access to the internet. Browser war begins with the Netscape and Internet Explorer competing for the dominance. Even in the 2000s, the dot-com bubble burst, but internet usage can grow in a web 2.0 technologies, social medias, blogs, and wikis introduced. In the era of 2010s, the rise of smartphones, mobile internet revolutionized the online access, streaming services like Netflix, Spotify, that transformed the entertainment consumption. Even in the 2020s, the internet becomes even more integral part of the life for the billions of the people for the various reasons. And the count is growing on. So this is the internet usage statistics where 4 billion people, internet users worldwide, whereas the 4.33 billion active social media users worldwide available, whereas the global e-commerce sales reaching over the 4.2 trillion of in 2020. Nowadays, the more stress is on content creation, distribution through the video streaming services that have been tremendous growth. Over 90% of a population having the internet access, and by observing the statistics it becomes evident that the number of internet users is rapidly increasing day by day. So the maximum utilization of internet necessitates the development of a future internet architecture to sustain and enhance its capacity, capability, security, and the innovation, which ensures its ability to meet the growing demands of the user's application in an increasingly the digital world. So, before moving ahead with the future internet architecture, first we will understand the current internet architecture principles. In the current internet architecture principle, here these are the few principles which is very important, and it has the specifications like decentralization. It means with no single point of control. This principle ensures the resilience, scalability, and the openness. Even the decentralization is a fundamental to the distributed nature of the internet, allowing the robustness against the failure. Scalability. The internet architecture should be designed to accommodate the growth in users, connecting devices, and the traffic without significant degradation in a performance and obviously the quality of a service also. Interoperability, modularity, end-to-end point principle, where the end-to-end point principle suggests that the intelligence and the functionality should be reside in the endpoints rather than the network itself. Even it enables the flexibility, innovation, scalability while promoting the simplicity and the efficiency in the network design. So the open standard, whereas the standards such as TCP/IP, HTTP, HTML, and the other enables the communication and the collaboration among the different platforms, forecasting a vibrant ecosystem of the applications and the services. Moving towards the another principle, security and the privacy. This is like the security and the privacy are the paramount in the internet architecture. The major such as the encryption techniques, authentication, access control that helps the user data and ensures the integrity and the confidentiality in communication. Also, the internet architecture should be resilient to catch up with the failures, attacks, and the disruption. Redundancy, fault tolerance, and the robust routing protocols have maintained the service availability, continuity in the face of adverse condition also. So these are the key features for the current internet architecture which we are facing. So again, there are various types of internet architectures available, which includes client server, peer to peer, service oriented architecture, microservice, layered architecture, and even event driven architecture. Even the content driven architectures are available. These are the just few examples of internet architecture types, each tailored with the different use cases, the requirement, and the design philosophy. So when we are going to, and even we have experienced the current internet architecture, and we have analyzed some merits: global connectivity, scalability, interoperability, decentralization, innovation that has been provided by the current internet architecture. But now we have to consider the demerits for the current internet architecture. The major concern is related to the security vulnerabilities, the open nature of the internet that makes the sustainable suspectial for the various security threats, including malware, phishing, and the data breaches. Protecting sensitive information and ensuring the privacy, that is again the remain the significance challenge. Even for the centralization of a services, as while the internet is itself a decentralized, many internet services are provided by the centralized entities. This centralization can lead to the concern about the data ownership, censorship, or the monopolistic practices. The quality of a services issue. The best effort nature of the internet means that it does not guarantee the quality of a service, such as the bandwidth or the latency. The user may experience variability in the performance, especially during the period of high traffic or network congestion. In case of a digital divide, despite its global reach, the internet architecture has not eliminated the disparities in access to the technology and the information. Many regions, particularly in the developing countries, still lack the adequate internet infrastructure and the connectivity. So these are the major concern with the current internet architecture that we need to overcome by designing the efficient future internet architecture. So in a future internet architecture, yes, there is a need of future internet architecture to accommodate the growth with the scalability, enhancing the security and the privacy, improving the reliability and the resilience, bridging the digital divide, even the enabling the innovation and the collaboration, promoting the inclusivity and the accessibility. Even it will provide the supporting the emerging technologies. even in the form of emerging technologies such as AI, blockchain, and edge computing continue to evolve. Future internet architecture must be capable of integrating and supporting this type of a technology seamlessly. So what is the in future internet architecture? In a simple words, we can say that the future internet architecture is the next generation architecture, which will address all these future demands and the possibilities, which will focus on the limitation of a current internet architecture. These are the research efforts taken by the NSF projects, which
Ma'am,
is the
extremely sorry to interrupt you in between, but can you please wrap up the presentation? We are
yes,
already
yes,
past
ma'am.
the presentation.
Just a
So,
minute, just a minute.
sorry.
So,
Okay.
yes, yes, thank you so much. So these are the various types of future internet architecture which is currently going on. They all are clean slate architecture. Guinea, ChoiceNet, XI, Nebula, NDN. NDN is in as a named data networking, which will give you the clean slate architecture, which is look like the same hourglass structure in a current TCP/IP protocol, but it will use no IP address concept. You can access the data by their name. So this is a very interesting future internet architecture, and currently the research is going on with this kind of a structure, whereas the consumer will access the data by their name through the interest packet, and the producer will just prepare the content and it will float on the network wherever it is available. That will be get back to the consumer. It is not needed to contact to the producer all the time. So still the design issues are available in a, this is ongoing things available in a, the research is going on. So we need to consider the quality of a service, scalability, even the security, interoperability. These are the design issues we need to consider. So the conclusion, as I have performed this a review to understand what is the need of future internet architecture, and it has given me the path where I can explore the various future internet architecture projects are going on, like NDN, mobility first, and so on. This will surely, and even I will try to contribute to find out the solution, how we can provide the better future internet architecture in upcoming years. These are the references which I have referred, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation. Now we'll start with the Q&A session.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, we can move further because we are already running out of the time. Thank
Sure,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now next we have Ravita Menon ma'am with us. They'll be presenting their paper on fuzzy assessment of sustainable and responsible tourist behavior in South India. Ma'am, I request you to please proceed with the presentation.
Thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Is the PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am, we can see the PPT.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Ravita Menon, and I'm from Amrita School of Business, Kochi, Kerala. And I'll be presenting my paper titled Fuzzy Assessment of Sustainable and Responsible Tourism, Tourist Behavior in South India. I'd like to introduce my co-authors, Dr. Rojalyn Patry, Ms. Sanju, Dr. Ravna Shivdas, and Ms. Devaki Menon. So let me start the presentation with the abstract. So this study, it proposes a framework to assess the responsible tourist behavior at tourist destinations. It actually gives a dual contribution to the existing body of knowledge. In the first way, it helps in identifying the pro-environmental behavior tourists are passive to adopt or where an external intervention is required. The second way, this particular framework, it acts as a toolkit for providing periodic evaluation of responsible tourist behavior at different destinations so that the authorities can benchmark and improve the behavior through appropriate interventions. To carry out the study, we have made use of fuzzy logic methodology. Let's move to the introduction part. Travel and tourism are an integral part of the economy of a country. For a developing country like India, it contributes to almost 5% of the total GDP. So here comes the importance of developing sustainable and responsible tourist behavior. Before moving forward, I'll just explain what is this responsible tourism. So it refers to minimizing the adverse effects of tourism activities on environment, thereby restoring the existing culture, traditions, customs, and heritage of that particular destination. So in this study, we put forward 3 important research questions. The first one is how to assess the responsible tourist behavior at different tourist destinations. Second question is what is the current level of sustainable and responsible tourism behavior at tourist destination? The third one is what are the SRT behaviors that tourists are passive to adopt and need external interventions? Moving on to the background of the study. While moving through the existing body of literature, we have identified 4 major stakeholder responsibilities. That is environmental responsibility, economic responsibility, social responsibility, and cultural responsibility. Even though a number of studies have been carried out to study the importance of one or more responsibilities together, none of the studies have assessed the adoption of sustainable and responsible tourism involving all these 4 responsibilities together. Apart from that, research on SRT practices that need government interventions for widespread adoption also was very scant. Moving on to the methodology part. As I have said earlier, we have made use of fuzzy logic methodology to carry out the study. So we have collected responses from the respondents in linguistic terms. That is, for example, extremely unimportant, moderately important, less important in that way. And this becomes very difficult to interpret because there is only very small difference in their meaning. That is why we have made use of fuzzy logic methodology. In this methodology, the fuzzy logic converts the input data into membership functions and carry out the fuzzy operations and again converts it to the linguistic variables which can be easily recognized. So to carry out the study, 4 steps have been developed. The first step is to identify the enablers, criteria, and attributes of sustainable and responsible tourism and building of estimation framework. So to identify these enablers, criteria, and attributes, we have gone through existing literature, and also we have had an in-depth interview with the panel of experts who are from hospitality industry, tourists, and travel agencies. And after interviewing and interacting with them, we have come up with 4 enablers, 10 criteria, and 38 attributes. In the same step, we have approached 49 tourists who are all Indians and who are frequent visitors. That is, they travel almost 3 to 4 times a year. And they were asked to give their weightage for all the 38 attributes, ranging from extremely unimportant to extremely important. And these terms were allocated with the fuzzy membership function. Moving on to the step number 2, it is regarding the observed performance rating. In this step, 37 tourists were approached, and these tourists were totally unrelated to the tourist who was selected in step number 1. And these tourists were asked to provide a rating on to what extent they adhere to SRT behavior, ranging from extremely poor to extremely good. There were 7 options from extremely poor, moderately poor, medium, good, moderately good, and extremely good. So after rating, we have moved to the third step, which is regarding the fuzzy computations on observed performance rating. In this, the computations were carried out and the fuzzy measure index or the FMI was calculated. And in the fourth step, the calculated FMI were translated to linguistic terms by using the Euclidean distance method. And in the same step, we have identified 5 labels. So in the graph, it is very clear the 5 labels WA, SA, MA, FA, and PA. WA stands for weak adoption, SA for slow adoption, MA for moderate adoption, FA for fair adoption, and PA for plausible adoption. So from the graph, it is very clear that the FMI is in the region between FA and PA, between fair adoption and plausible adoption, but the major portion is lying in the FA region. Therefore, it is seen that the responsible tourist behavior in southern India is just fair. This is one finding. And the next result is, it is very clearly shown that these are the SRT behaviors that the tourists are passive to adopt. That is, they require some external agencies to enforce it. For example, some of them are use of the reusable dishes and adoption of green protocols, then giving equal consideration for both plants and animals, biodiversity conservation. Only if the government enforce it that the people will be following all this. So that is the second finding. And moving on to the conclusion part, as per the results in southern India, socio-cultural awareness in terms of human rights protection, destination safety, awareness on green protocol, and biodiversity conservation needs to be improved so as to raise the SRT behavior from the fair level to plausible level. For this, to achieve these goals, the government or the authorities need to take extra effort in the areas of infrastructure creation, providing public awareness campaigns by setting up various monitoring mechanisms, media strategy. All these can help to attain these goals very effortlessly. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation. I have only one question from my side that, as you said, you have asked this questionnaire to the 37 people somewhere in your presentation. So don't
Yes.
you think it is a very low or very less data set for your working?
No, so we have, even though the 37 tourists were selected in the second step, we have already collected in the first step, we have collected data from 49 tourists. And in this step, we have had a detailed interaction with them. And I
That
think
is right.
having
That is right. But don't you think it is very small data set for taking any decision for the same?
Sir, I don't actually think
Because
that.
see, if I think from South India perspective, I can say that minimum 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people are visiting South India during the year. And if you
Yes.
take any system or if you create any system having the data of around 50 tourists, will it be countable?
So what we actually did was as I have said earlier, we have as they are experts, that is, they travel almost 4 to 6 times a year. So they actually know, we can actually understand from, even though the 50,000 people might be coming to southern part of India as tourists, but majority of them might not be frequent visitors. So these 37 tourists are those tourists who are almost visited minimum 4 to 6 times a year. So that is why we selected only 37, sir, because majority do not be traveling that much times frequently in a particular year. That is why we selected 37 tourists.
Does it affect to your research whether a tourist is a frequent traveler or not?
Yes, sir, because to what extent they might be adhering to the SRT behavior, that is what we are studying. So only if we can only understand from the people who are frequently visiting a particular place, only from their behavior can we actually understand. That is what the actual study is all about.
Oh. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Siddhi, ma'am, can
Thank
we
you.
move forward? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for considering the time constraint. Thank you for the presentation. Now we'll move on to the next presenter. So the next presenter is Binayak Banerjee, sir. He's presenting his paper on illegal construction site detection using deep learning. Sir, I request you to start with your presentation.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'll share.
Yep. Yes.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay. Good morning, one and all present. My name is Binayak Banerjee, and I, along with my co-author, Dr. Sumita Nandan, we did a research paper on illegal construction site detection using deep learning. So these are the table of contents. We'll be starting with objectives, then we will discuss about the problem statement, talk about the main model use, and talk about the flowchart methodology, and the results which we found out from our study, from our project. So the main objective of this project is to gain a strong understanding of the deep learning models such as YOLO. That's the main model used. You only look once. So gain a proper understanding of that model and use it to classify satellite images. So the project is based on satellite images which we take on Google Earth, and with that will be used to differentiate. So due to urbanization and industrialization, a lot of construction sites are being built. But after a lot of innovation, a lot of problems also started. Like people start using unauthorized places, started placing illegal construction sites. So it creates multiple problems which can relate it to the safety, can relate it to the urban planning and related to the safety of the citizens. So that inspired us to work on a proof of concept project, which we use a concept of which can be classified as legal or illegal. So based on the image classification model, we did literature review. So we did literature review of like image classification models, and which uses bounding box as classification. So the models mainly we used as YOLO, you only look once, and RCNN. Both the models are mainly used for bounding box classification. So model is YOLO, you only look once. This is a state-of-the-art real-time object detection. We use Ultralytics library to use this model. So in this picture you can see this model makes use of a bounding box. So there might be different objects in that bounding box. With that, it is used for classification. So in this Y parameter, you can see PC and all the BX, BY, BX. So all the parameters with B is the measurements of the bounding box. PC shows by 0, 1 which class is there. So if it is for example, here's the dog and cat classification, it will show 0, 1 as dog and 1, 0 as cat. I'll just give an example. That was just an example. And C is the probability of that class. C is how high is the probability of that it is a selected class. Next is why YOLO, because YOLO, as name suggests, you only look once. It does image classification in one pass. So it has so this model will give higher accuracy and higher speed also compared to other models such as RCNN or other image classification models. So mainly flowchart and methodology will use mainly deep learning techniques such as so for data collection we use we took satellite images from Google Earth. So it was mainly for illegal construction site detection. So we took snapshots on Google Earth from different construction sites, and the parameter we set is area. As it is a we use as proof of concept, we assumed as a parameter, and we calculate the area. So the minimum area we took is 20,000 square feet. So buildings, so from Google Earth we calculate the area, and the places which are under 20,000 square feet will be taken as legal, and the buildings which are taken above 20,000, like below 20,000 square feet is legal, and the buildings which are taken above 20,000 square feet is termed as illegal. So after taking pictures of from Google Earth, we utilize RoboFlow. This site was mainly used for annotations or building annotations of the buildings. As you can see, the bounding box has been created on the building, and labeling it as different subclass as legal and illegal of the training set. So training set, we have limited training set actually. So because taking data from we don't have our own data set, so taking data was time consuming. So we are training set of 215 images, validation set of 21 images, and test set of 9 images. So this is also after data augmentation. So after deploying the YOLO model, we trained a model of 25 epochs, and and we got the result on confusion matrix. So as you can see, it is 82% of 82% has been correctly identified as legal and as illegal, and 76% has been correctly identified as legal, and rest are background itches as it has correctly identified as background. So this graph you can see that in this graph you can see the different training loss and validation loss. As you can see that as the epochs increases, the training loss has decreases, it indicating a smooth training, and the precision has also, and recast has also increased. So these two are examples of two test data as we had shown to construction sites on Google Earth. So in this, so I want to conclude that this was a proof of concept type of project, and in this time we have only considered area. For future scope also, like we have several like several limitations, such as through satellite images we can't calculate the height also. So if we get height, we could have used based on FSI, which is a real parameter on defining which is legal or which is illegal. So these are the applications. It's mainly can be used for urban planning, infrastructure maintenance, everything. And these are the references. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If there are any questions,
Hello.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Can you tell me that you have taken only one parameter, that is a 20,000 something you have said?
Area, yeah.
Yeah. Is it the real life application? Because if you say that building is legal or illegal, there may be so many parameters, and taking up this only as a parameter, will it be good?
Actually, yeah, even I agree that one parameter might be very less, but as I mentioned, it is a proof of concept. Like we can use this concept to, further we can use it further to build a legal construction. And also we have done it based on satellite images. So till the completion project, we could come up with one parameter only.
Okay, so only one suggestion from my side, please increase your number of parameters and try to have the data set from somewhere instead of Google Images or Google Earth Images.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Siddhi ma'am, we can move to the next presentation, please.
yes, sir, we'll proceed. So the next presenter is Vivek Modi, sir, and he'll be presenting his paper on, I'm so sorry, revolutionizing interviews through AI-powered learning and guidance. IntelliTutor. Sir, are you with us?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, I'm sharing the screen. Just a second. Mm. So is the screen visible? Hmm. Uh, good morning, everyone. So our topic is IntelliTutor, revolutionizing interviews through AI-powered learning and guidance. And my co-authors are Neha Katre ma'am, Dipti Singh and Akshat, and myself is Vivek Modi. So this is the overview of the presentation with abstract motivation, problem statement, literature survey, architecture, audio analysis, video analysis, data set, research gaps, and references. So first part is the abstract. Uh, currently, in the abstract, when it comes to hiring, organizations often adhere to set policies and procedures regarding job applications. The first step usually entails evaluating skills via a variety of platforms, YouTube courses, specialized website, and abundance of digital materials, etc. The purpose of these resources is to give candidate the tools that they need to do well during the first round of assessment. However, the resources are accessible appear to diminish considerably at the key interview stage. Uh, uh, basically, there is a conspicuous lack of comprehensive and varied material design expressed for interview preparation in the digital domain. and aspiring candidates frequently face serious gap and difficulty as a result of this disparity between the tools available for aptitude testing and those for interview preparation. So motivation behind the project is there are many resources available in the internet which gives a thorough advantage of for the interviewers to prepare for their interview. But there is a lack of personalized feedback, and there is also one main motivation behind it. It is the low confidence of the candidates which appear during the interview. The main problem statement for our research is that the people are confined to themselves, and there is inability to locate resources, and there is a lack of interview preparation. So due to this, we are coming up with a solution for which is an AI driven solution that provides an in-depth analysis of interview. This would help better the candidates in their strengths, and it would help improve using machine learning algorithms, improve themselves using machine learning algorithms. These are the research survey which we have taken care of, and we have read different papers for the interview analysis, and gathered information about that. Mm. So for the video analysis part and for the classification, we are using HAR cascade. We are combining three of the classification, which is HAR cascade, LBP, and SVM. The reason behind taking the HAR cascade is that whenever a candidate is appearing for an interview, or he is practicing for the interview, uh, the HAR cascade classifier has a low computational power, and also the and also the detection technique of the HAR cascade is better compared to another classifiers. So this is the system architecture of our system. So once the candidate is ready, he will he would record the video. After the interview is over, there are two separate parts. One is the audio extraction part, and another is also the video analysis part. In the audio extraction, first the frames are converted to grayscale. Then the face detection is done using the HAR cascade classifier. After that, it is the emotion detection is done, and the emotion detection is done as the interview is completed. Audio and video score is generated, and based upon the interviews which the candidate has given, a score is also generated. Based upon that score, he could analyze himself, and the suggestions also given that how can he improve for the interview. So this is the audio analysis part. Analysis part has mainly like first the input is given of the audio and video. Here only the audio analysis is done. Audio analysis is a component where the input signals are given. Here also like some factors such as the pause detection, like words per minute, how many words the interviewer is speaking per minute, is it low or is it high? Everything is calculated, and based upon that, an audio score is generated. This is the video analysis part. The analysis part is basically what are the facial expression, how whether during the interview, the candidate is giving the interview in a confident way, or he is shy, or there are some another advantage or disadvantage of the interviewer. The face detection part is done using the HAR cascade classifier, and also the emotion detection is done using the HAR cascade classifier. The data set which we are using is the FER data set. The FER data set like classifies the emotions into different parts. Emotions such as the anger, disgust, fear, pleasure, sorrow, surprise, and many other detection, like what is the emotion, what is the current emotion of the candidate. The basically we have chosen FER dataset for the reason like it is like for the standard benchmark and training which is used all over across, and we have taken this from the image is taken from the Kaggle dataset. Research gap is that current scenarios, like we have already researched many products upon this, and we have found like most of the product do not do like the video analysis part. We have like the Google interview warm up, and another one is the interview by AI. These both tools are like mostly do for the audio analysis part, but not for the video analysis part. Uh, for the conclusion, note that we are providing a solution which would help a candidate prepare for the interview and give suggestion real time. Uh, this would basically allow to explore job opportunity and apply while practicing interview skills through a system. Uh, Evaluating applicant scores and profile to improve candidate selection efficiency for firms in early screening round. And this is the this is the research. These are the references which we have taken care of. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Yeah.
Now, if there are any questions,
Ma'am, we can move to the next presentation.
okay, sir. So the next presenter for today's session is Abhishek Narayanam, sir, and the paper title is My App: Factors Influencing the Willingness of Customers to Co-Create Mobile Applications. Sir, I request you to start with your presentation.
Yes, Siti. Siti, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Thank you. Okay. So, good morning, all. My name is Abhishek Narayanan, and I am an MBA graduate from Amrita School of Business. And my research partner was Sharon Chandran Sudesh. He was also an MBA graduate at Amrita School of Business. And the research was done under the mentorship of Dr. Shobana Madhavan and Dr. Deepak Gupta, professors of Amrita School of Business. So the topic for the research was customer willingness in mobile app co-creation and the factors affecting the motivation. So let me just give you clarity on what actually the topic is about. So the co-creation is a term that is gaining attention for the past 1 decade, and it is actually a modern innovation strategy that is used by the brands in order to come up with very value added products. So it's a collaborative methodology that brings together customers and businesses to jointly create um, well value added products and services which will actually be fulfilling the needs of that particular customer base. So in this research we are actually narrow downing a scope of research to the sector of mobile apps. So here we are actually trying to research on what are those factors that are actually influencing the customers, that is the mobile users, to actually engage in the co-creation of mobile applications. So in this research, we have adopted the theoretical framework of self-determination theory based upon which we have developed the conceptual model. And we have that the data was collected online through the online survey, and the data was collected from across the India from the metro and non-metro cities who are the mobile, actually, the users, from the mobile users. And we have analyzed the data using an SEM model from this data, using this data software. So we have identified that the 4 of the factors that we have considered having the high significance and having a positive relation to engage in co-creation activities. So the research motivation for the research was that the customers co-creation was a term that is gaining a very big attention for the past 1 decade. And the main idea behind this practice is to understand that the customers have the knowledge, and understanding their input, through their input, we can actually come up with a well value added products which can actually satisfy the customer base's need. So for example, if you're talking about the mobile apps, the co-creation activities starts from providing feedbacks. So we have seen that feedbacks, the having feedback reviews in the mobile applications. Once we start using them, after a period of time, you will get notifications about rating the app experience. So it starts from feedback, and the maximum range of co-creation in mobile application is the beta version testing. So some of the users might be willing to engage in the beta version testing of those applications so that they can provide a better optimized version of their mobile applications. So that was a major motivation of this study. And the major question is that what are the factors that affecting the user's intention to co-create in a mobile application? So previously there have been researchers that was looking into the co-creation as a whole, and there was researchers for the co-creation of certain sectors. But by referring to various literatures, we realized that there was less researchers in the area of mobile apps. So by through this conducting this study, we can actually give the mobile developers a better understanding of what factors they should be actually be tapping on so that they can provide a better application, better fulfill the needs of their customers. So these are the constructs that we have considered, and these are the sources. The first one is the customer innovativeness. So basically, customer innovativeness means the how receptive a customer is to new products. That is, their preferences for new and different experiences. And the next one is involvement and engagement. So how interacting a customer is through various channels like online and offline. So what is the degree of interaction that they have towards the mobile apps co-creation. The next is information seeking. So this is the factor which deals with the interest of the customer in seeking new information and learning. And the next one is hedonic motivation. This factor deals with the personal pleasure on the willingness to provide inputs into a new app development. And the next one is show idea or information sharing, which means willingness to share knowledges. And the next one is compensation or monetary rewards. This factor deals with the interest in rewards, thereby they can actually provide inputs. So how motivated is an individual in providing inputs if they are given a reward for that action. So next one is social integrative. Social integrative deals with the extent to which an individual wants to interact with the social activities. And the next one we consider was altruistic desire, which is the selfless concern of an individual to participate in an activity. Basically, loyal customers comes under this particular category. So the rest of the three, that's autonomy, competence, and social connectedness, these three factors were taken from the self-determination theory, and it was adopted from that particular theory. So this is the conception model that we have built from the built for the study. So out of this, the autonomy, competence, and social connectedness was adopted from the self-determination theory. And we have considered a total of 11 independent variables, which is having an impact on the mediating variable, that is the intention to co-create, which is affecting the degrees of co-creation in the mobile apps. So we have considered a controlling variable, that is age and gender. So this is the hypothesis that we have. So we have a hypothesis that stating the positive relationship between the independent variables and the intention to co-create mobile apps. So the methodology that we have adopted for this study is a qualitative approach, and we have taken the primary data through an online survey that was floated, and the questionnaires were prepared based on the scales from various literatures that was validated. And for the study, non-probabilistic quarter sampling was used. So we had a total of 201 of age group 2 and above. So the data was taken from metro cities and non-metro cities. From metro cities, we had 53% of the respondents, and the 47% of the respondents was from non-metro cities. And 55% of the respondents were males, and 45% of the respondents were females. So all of these respondents were smartphone app users. So this is the result that we got from after running the SEM. So we have found that the hedonic motivation, information sharing, social integrative, and social connectedness. These four factors had a positive and also had a significant impact on intention to co-create. And we also saw that the mediating variable, that intention to co-create, also had a positive and significant impact on the level of or degree of co-creation. So as I mentioned, information sharing, social connectedness, hedonic motivation, and social integrative are was found to be the was found to be the four major independent variables that had a major impact on intention to co-create. So the implication of the study is that today brands are increasingly following the trend. That is, they have, for example, if we talk about brands like IKEA, Apple, Lego, all these brands are actually into co-creation. So this is something that actually will, this is an innovative strategy that brands use today, so that they can actually improve their service or product that are providing for that particular customer base. So by actually finding from this findings that we have from the study, we can actually give a great insight to the mobile app developers who can actually we can actually tap on the right factors or the right combination of factors so that they can have a successful co-creating project in the future. These are the references that we have taken for the study, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. If there are any questions.
No, ma'am, you can move to the next presentation, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the next presenter and the very last presenter of today's session is Aditya Yadev, sir. And their paper title is Strategic Insights into Grammarly Adoption and In-Depth Examination Through the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology, UTAUT model. Sir, if you're present with us, I request you to please start with your presentation.
Ma'am, I don't have the permission to share my screen.
Yes, I'll stop sharing my screen. Now you will be able to share your screen, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Are you able to see the presentation, ma'am?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Start the presentation.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Aditya Dev. I am from Amrita School of Business, Amrapuri. So, today we are going to present a paper on strategic insights into Grammarly adoption and in-depth examination through the unified theory of acceptance and use of technology model. So, the presenters of this paper are myself, Aditya Dev, my friend Tampuru, and Suresh A. So, in the rapidly evolving and digital landscape, effective written communication and skills have become a paramount. Grammarly, a popular language tool, offers numerous benefits, including improved writing abilities, contextual error detection, Microsoft Office integration, and convenient access to synonyms and definitions. So we know that in organizations and all, in order to communicate our goals, we need a effective written communication and language knowledge. So using AI tools like Grammarly or other tools, we are able to effectively communicate our goals. So in this presentation, we are going to find out how effectively we can use Grammarly and how effective is Grammarly in how effectively people use Grammarly. So there are in the literature there are past research that used theories like TAM and unified theory of acceptance and use of technology to study the adoption. So with the interaction with the users, we modified the UTAUT model and found out the variables like social influence, effort expectancy, performance expectancy, and facilitating conditions on users' behavior intentions to adopt Grammarly. So coming to what is performance expectancy is that performance expectancy is perceived benefit of technology improving the task performance, and effort expectancy is the perceived ease of usability of the technology, and social influence is the degree to which others influence an individual's technology adoption decisions and behaviors. So the facilitating conditions are crucial in determining Grammarly's adoption rate, and behavioral intention is the individual's willingness to perform a behavior. The hypothesis for this are SI is influenced positively by PE to adopt Grammarly, and the hypothesis 2 is that PE is influenced positively by EE to adopt Grammarly, and hypothesis 3 is PE is positively influenced to FC to adopt Grammarly. Fourth hypothesis is effort expectancy is positively associated to behavioral intention to adopt Grammarly, and fifth hypothesis is uh, FC is positively associated with BI to adopt Grammarly. So we used in coming to the methodology, we use survey method to collect the data. Data was collected using Google Forms. We sent out about 350 mails to different organizations, and which resulted in us gaining about 300 responses. And we used Smart PLS for the analysis. Coming to the analysis part, see, we we measured constant reliability and variability using measurement model, and discriminated and phonological criterion using discriminant model, discriminant validity. And in constant reliability and validity, we found out what should be the criterion was that each value should be more than 0.5, and you can see compactness alpha and CR and average value of each row and column is more than 0.5. So we found out that the criteria is matching. And in phonological criterion, the diagonal values, the magnitude of the diagonal values should be higher than the values in the respective columns. The findings we saw that was the causal relationships assessed based on path coefficients and p values and significance, and the r-square value was 0.59, indicating this is a good model fit. And what we could see, this is a structural model of my of a finding, and inside the bracket what is given is the p value, and outside the bracket is the coefficient value. And what we can see is that the most hypothesis one is that positive PE is greater than FC relationship. That is the highest PE value is that PE to EE, and the lowest value is from FC to BI. In conclusion, the study that we used to understand the key factors influencing adoption of Grammarly, a popular language tool through research and analysis, we found that social influence, ease of use, perceived usefulness, and facilitating conditions significantly impacted users' intention to adopt Grammarly. Through this model, this model provided us with successful in predicting and explaining around 60% of the variance in users' behavioral intentions to adopt Grammarly. And the findings that the finding highlights Grammarly's important role in educational settings by improving writing skills, dictating errors, integrating with learning environments, and enhancing academic communication. With the insightful future, that means that in the future research, we could explore how the cultural differences and evolving technologies like AI and machine learning could impact Grammarly's adoption over time. Overall, I would like to say that this study provides a strategic guide for organizations to effectively incorporate language tools like Grammarly to improve their workspace communication and share their ideas. And these are the references that we used. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Now, if there are any questions.
Hello. I have only one question for this. Can you justify that nowadays, even the what I can say is this plagiarism checking softwares, they are also working on the non-usage of the AI tools. So do you think that Grammarly will continue to sustain in this market?
What I think is that Grammarly will surely sustain this market.
Because
suppose if you are
nowadays what happened that even Turnitin and all other tools which are plagiarism checking tools, they are always showing this as an AI modified text. So it will be difficult in the future that this kind of tools we can use for the research purpose or paper writing or anything else. What is your opinion about the same?
The thing is that, if you see is that while we use Grammarly, the AI detection that Turnit shows is less than 15%, which is allowed. Up to 20% of plagiarism is allowed. But if you use another language integration model like ChatGPT or Claude AI, that we could see that it is the plagiarism will be more than 20%. And see, the integration of Grammarly, it has a other tools are of cost like Turnit and all, but in Grammarly it is free of cost. And what we can see is that it is integrated with Microsoft, and it makes our work easier. Like it gives us predictions, what should be the next line, how can I modify my text, or how can we use this text in another way, or how can we just communicate it in a different sense. So I think in the future market also Grammarly will sustain.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, if there aren't any more questions, I'll proceed to the closing remarks and then conclude this session.
Please, ma'am.
So there aren't any questions. Okay, I'll start. I sincerely thank our authors for the excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th version and all the previous 7 versions of the conference. We will be happy to see you in the 9th version in 2025. All the presenters would be getting the digital certificates via email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months, and kindly cooperate with the team of ICTIS 2024. And lastly, I also want to thank our session chair, Dr. Kalpesh Popat sir, for chairing the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just a second. A token of appreciation to the chair on the behalf of our team and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence. And before ending the session, I have a request for all the participants. I want to take a quick snapshot of today's session. So would you please turn on your cameras, all the participants?
Thank you, ma'am.
Just wait for a just a minute. I will wait for the others as well. Okay, I'll take this snapshot now. Thank you so much, everybody. I've taken the snapshot.